Well, if it makes you feel better, I think the last thing that I watched that wasn't directly related to what doesn't kill us is probably Carpenter's Vampires.
Which I hear is not so good.
Let's just not talk about it.
It's that bad, huh?
Better or worse than Village of the Damned?
I
Better
haven't seen Village of the
I
Damned.
didn't think that was so bad, was it? I saw it so long ago. I mean, I
wasn't
love the
wasn't
original.
great.
Have you seen the original?
The Carpenter one.
No, 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 no. That's a remake.
Oh no, I haven't seen the original one.
Oh,
I
the
don't
original.
like the remake.
The
Then.
original's great. No, he didn't. The original's black and white. The original's from like early 60s. The original's fantastic, yeah.
What about the Ward Brady?
I'm sure John Carpenter did something at one point in time that made him famous, but I'm
A
pretty
lot.
sure.
Well, wait. You don't think that his work holds up in general?
I'm trying to remember all the stuff that I've seen of his, and right
Assault on
now,
Precinct 13. Uh,
Escape from New York,
Escape from New
Okay,
York.
The
Escape
Fog,
from LA,
Halloween.
hold on,
The
hold on.
Thing.
Escape
The
from New York
Thing.
works.
Trouble in Little China.
Trouble in Little
Wait a
China.
minute. The
That's
thing,
right.
the thing works, I think.
Okay,
Oh, it totally
so
does.
Vampires
Assault
is
on
so
Precinct.
bad that I forgot that he did cool things. Oh,
I
man,
mean,
he did
we're
Ghost
not-
of Mars too.
Yeah, I know.
He's got
Neat.
some hits and misses, but I have a deep
Yeah.
love for him.
Yeah, Crystal and
Oh,
I
yeah.
both just like
Yeah, the more I'm actually going through some of this stuff, I'm like, yeah, never mind. He's amazing.
I hear like
Shut my mouth.
the first 3 seconds of a score of one of his films, and I'm like, oh, my heart. Like, I don't know, you could just start at Prince of Darkness, and then I would hear it in the distance and be like,
Yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna
More
say that
hits
he's
than
very
misses.
much hit and miss.
yeah.
Because let's just look at Escape from LA and Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Escape from New York is magic, and then Escape from LA is just awful.
I've heard it's not so good. Yeah, I haven't seen the ones that have failed because it's too depressing. I don't want
Right.
to.
Ghost of Mars, amazing concept,
Notoriously,
terrible execution. Christine, I guess he did the best with his source material.
Yeah, I didn't think that was bad at all. I think he can do low key when he's a good craftsperson. I think when he wants to be or when he needs.
He
to
did
be.
do Halloween 2, but on the other hand, he did Halloween 3.
No, he didn't do Halloween 3. He produced it. He
Whatever.
wanted
He
Halloween.
he did Halloween.
Yeah, but he wanted Halloween to be an omnibus, or what do you call it, where it's different every year. He wanted it to be a different story every year, so that's why he was. But yeah, anyway.
But Halloween 3 is awful.
But it's
yeah.
become a cult thing.
So
But I mean, he has more hits than misses, and that's hard to do.
yeah,
as
well,
a director.
I'll give him. I'm pretty sure I'd rather watch Halloween 3 than Rob Zombie's remakes.
But see, I haven't seen any of the Rob
There.
Zombie.
That's it.
Ken just said that he managed to work rape and torture into Halloween. It's like, how'd you manage that? You don't like his?
I absolutely despise his remake. Like it completely missed the magic that is Mike Myers. Like just
A lot of Halloween fans hate it. I have not seen that one.
It's- I mean, if it would have been called anything other than Halloween and it would have had completely different characters,
Oh.
sure, I would have enjoyed it.
Oh,
But
really?
As
The
it was
back
supposed
as
to
the
be
prequel,
Halloween.
a prequel for Mike Myers or something like that, like his
Right, like,
history, his background.
it doesn't work because what made Mike Myers insane and scary and just terrifying was the fact that this was a normal kid that snapped and murdered everybody. And then we get into the Mark of Thorn and whatever. It gets batshit crazy as it is.
But what about his other stuff? What about his other films?
What, Zombie?
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses is fantastic. It is
Okay.
probably one of my favorites.
Okay. And what about you, Crystal?
I really like Lords of Salem.
See, I need to
Okay.
watch that because I had some friends just flat out tell me it was the worst movie they've ever seen.
No, I think for you, for people like you and me, Brady,
For you, it's
we're
great.
gonna
Right.
gonna like it. But
So-
people who only like Rob Zombie movies for a very, very specific, mean-spirited reason, and I'm not trying to call them out on that. I just think that some people like his material because it's edgy and
Right. Now,
transgressive, whereas
Devil's
Lords of
Rejects
Salem has
was
something.
Devil's Rejects was absolutely a wonderful film. Like I enjoyed every second of that.
Wait, Crystal, are you saying that Lords of Salem doesn't have that mean spiritedness to it?
Not the same way.
Right.
And is that true for the one that you're talking about now, Brady?
What, Devil's Rejects?
Yeah.
Kind of. Specifically, House of a Thousand Corpses. Exactly. That it was very mean spirited in multiple levels. Like he's kind of making fun of the genre, but also um, poking fun at the fact that a lot of these horror films just don't use the tools that they're given. Like one of the best scenes in House of a Thousand Corpses is the aerial shot of the one guy about to shoot the cop or whatever, and it lasts for a day and a half. Like this scene is so drawn out, but so intense that it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, but I don't know.
Tell me if you disagree with this, Brady. I feel like people who are Rob Zombie fans are people who are aggressively his fans tend to be the people who are like his music for the same reasons. Whereas
much, yeah.
cinematic fans of his like his movies for another reason.
Right. I can definitely agree with that because I mean
Well,
musically
that's
speaking,
interesting.
everyone everyone that liked Hellbilly Deluxe didn't like Educated Horses, even though Educated Horses as an album is beautiful as a whole. But Hellbilly Deluxe is the sci-fi pulp horror whatever. Everyone's like, oh, it's scary and weird and blah. And then Educated Horses came out and he actually sat down and made music for once, and everyone was like, oh, this is crap. This is Rob Zombie. Get out of here.
No, I tend to like it more when he expresses himself
Yeah.
in a
Absolutely.
pulp way.
Right. Now, Noel, what Crystal was talking about when she said for you, there was an interesting situation that happened when under the skin or under her skin or whatever came out. One of my friends was super excited for the movie. Like she was just all about it. She's like, "This is going to be so good," and blah, blah, blah. And I had talked to Crystal about it here and there, and Crystal was like, "Yeah, it should be a fun movie." The day after it came out, I got basically 2 reviews. The one that was excited about it, the one that wasn't, Crystal, was like, "This movie is awful. Don't go watch it. It's just boring as shit, and nothing happens, and it's stupid." And then Crystal's like, "Oh no, it was fantastic. You should totally watch it." And I eventually watched it. I think this year, and it was a wonderful movie to watch.
Did you get to see it on the big screen?
I didn't. No, I just watched it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I was lucky. I worked hard to find it. It was hard to find out here in the desert, but I found
Right.
it. Yeah.
So when it comes to Lords of Salem, I could probably sit down and enjoy every bit of it because I'd be watching it for the expressionism of it all.
Okay, then I was wrong. I thought she meant for the gore aspect of what you like, but that's not what she meant. Okay.
No, it's a bit different. It's more because I know that Brady's a patient film watcher.
That's interesting. So, have you seen a lot of art films, non-genre art films that are long and slow?
Yes. I'm trying to think of a couple off the top of my head.
You saw what is that one?
But you didn't. You guys still don't like Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Okay, so
that's a separate episode.
I
another
know.
example. We were talking
love
about
bringing that up.
comics earlier. Jessica Jones. I've had a couple people tell me that it's worth a watch. You should sit down and watch it, even though the pacing is super slow and it's not your normal sort of comic book thing. And I sat down and I watched it, and I think the pacing is probably the best part about the entire series so
That's
far.
very interesting because that's so rare. I mean, I am also like that. I love zoning out. I can watch ice melt. I mean, if I'm in a movie theater, it's harder at home for sure.
I think one of the reasons why I'm more into films than television is because films can take their pacing however they want.
Interesting.
If you look at some of like my favorite TV shows, we're looking at things like MASH. like even though, especially with MASH, like it's not necessarily every episode is basically a standalone. You don't have to watch them in order. They just and the pacing is set perfectly for each episode.
Oh, it changes for each episode. Yeah.
Right. Whereas we look at another TV show and TV series that I watched all of. We look at House. House has the exact same pacing every single episode.
Yeah.
Again, still, like for the most part, there's some some storylines that last through multiple episodes, but for the most part, you can watch each episode for itself, and that's fine. But for the most part, I can't sit down and watch a TV series. It drives me insane.
Because it's the same pace over and over. It's the same rhythm over and over. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to do. But when it comes to movies, I'll sit and watch movies all day long. Like I've had multiple times where I've sat down just to binge watch the Hellraiser movies. Because, I'm not sure if you guys have caught on to this, but Hellraiser might be my favorite movie ever.
But you've never said anything about Hellraiser. I don't understand. That's out of nowhere.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so surprised. Hellraiser is my favorite movie.
But they're each completely different in terms of rhythm and structure and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Especially if you look at Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2, which are probably the best. Hellraiser 1 takes some time to set up. Like it shows you some things at the beginning, but the main action doesn't really happen until later on. And then when you look at Hellraiser 2, like it's almost immediate. It's like, hey, look, here's a chick without skin. Surprise! All right, let's roll with that.
So how'd you get your stepmom's skin on so fast? Please tell me. It was so fast. No, it's great.